Hello fellow collectors, today we are going to review this. Well, not really. I was just showing you this, but actually we are going to review the offspring of this car. This is a Corgi 1966 Batmobile. This is the very first Batmobile that I got when I first came to the US. It was a gift from my aunt, and this got me started into collecting, and since then I've collected cars and Batmobiles, and this is one of them. Well, the very first one. It's been played with, as you can tell, all kinds of dings. I have no plan to fix this or repaint it because I just like to have it the way it is. It brings back the memories of the fun times that me and my brother played with this Batmobile. But if there's a chance that I can get another one out there that is a replica, or not even a replica, but from the same era but in better shape, obviously I will get one. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the first 5 of the Corgi Batmobiles. This will be in 3 parts, so this is the first part of this series. So we will be reviewing 5 Batmobiles per episode. So let's get to it. Okay, so guys, this is what we will be reviewing. This is the first 5 of 15 Batmobiles that we will be reviewing. This is part 1 of 3. And so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at each one. I will be looking at them, or we will be looking at them rather, and then after that we will be taking them out of the box and taking a look at the features and the details of each car. Now mind you, I will not take it out of its display stand. I will just take it out of the box because I really don't want to. There are some that are already out of that display stand, which is okay. We'll do that. We'll take a look at it, the underside, everything. But the others I didn't do that just because I didn't want to do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is the 1930s Batmobile. This is the very first Batmobile that came out, or what Batman used in his debut in the 1930s. As you can see, it's very nice. Paint detail is great. And like I said, we will be taking a look at these outside of the box. 1940s Batmobile. Doesn't have a hood. Looks like a convertible. And then a more recognizable Batmobile. This one is similar to later incarnations of the Batmobile, especially with the paint scheme, black and the red stripe. 1950s, almost similar to the one from the 1940s, but with a bluish hue, or actually bluish paint job, a little bit smaller fin on the back, and it has a light or siren on the very top. And the 1960s Batmobile. This one is sort of kind of like the ones that Adam West, or from the TV show, but I think they couldn't really do that, even though they did make it back in the 60s when they first came out with that Batmobile. I don't know why they couldn't reproduce it, but I think that's probably more of a licensing or copyright issue, but I'm not going to go into that. So anyway, these are the first 5. We're going to take a look at them outside of the box, and we'll look at them more in greater detail. Okay, so let's get to that. So the 1930s Batmobile, like I said, this is in red. I believe this is not really a Batmobile if you really want to be technical about it, but it is the first car that he used, and what they had illustrated in the comic book before they came up with the Batmobile. But the features on this Batmobile is, from the back of the box, it shows that the door opens and the trunk opens, and that's about it for its feature. Like I said, the paint looks good on this. It's just a nice looking vehicle. It really doesn't give you an indication that it is a Batmobile, but it was the Batmobile that they used when the comic came out back in the 30s. So anyway, here is a more closer look at this Batmobile from the 1930s. Second in line is the 1940s Batmobile. This is also, if you look at it, really doesn't give you an indication that it is the Batmobile, but I guess he changed his color from red to a more darker color, because red, you can see that pretty plainly even at night when it's driving around. So if he really wanted to be kind of in the shadows, you kind of want to have to go to a darker paint scheme. But anyway, this is a convertible, doesn't have a roof on it. Earlier I said it doesn't have a hood on it. It does have a hood on it, and I apologize for that. As you can see, based on the features of this car, the hood is the only thing that opens on it. And this one actually I took out of the display stand so we can take a look at it a little closer. And you can see it's got nice detail of the engine, and it does show, let's see if we can focus on it, Batman driving. So that's really a nice piece to have there. It's fairly detailed, so that's really nice. The car itself is nice too. I really like the pearl kind of like look of the paint, a pearl blue. It's very nice. Underneath, it's got, like all their Corgi Batmobiles, it has Batman, or an image of the Batman underneath. So this is the 1940s Batmobile. So we'll take another quick look at it. All right, so number 3 is the 1940s Batmobile. So this is a little bit more of a Batman style vehicle, better than the other one, I guess, or different from the other one, because this one you can actually tell that this is a Batmobile, this is Batman's vehicle. On the back it shows you the different types of Batmobiles, including the Jokermobile that came out in the 1950s, and I'm not going to go over that because I don't have that one. I only went and bought out all the Batmobiles. So with this is more like a Batmobile. As you can see by the paint scheme, like I said, this is reminiscent or it has the same type of paint scheme as the 1966 Batmobile from the TV show, the red and the black. It's got the battering ram, which is the bat face, and it took me a while to figure out how that it's supposed to pop out, and it didn't give that instruction. As you can tell from the back of this box, it shows you the different Batmobiles from different dates, but it didn't tell me how to operate it until I pushed down on it. And when you push down on the wheel underneath, that's when it's supposed to pop out. No, it's not working right now. Oh, there you go. Let's just try that again. So you press on the bottom, and there you go. And I like this one. I think this is one of the better Batmobiles that I like, especially from that era. It's very mysterious, very dark. You don't see who's inside. And underneath, again, an image of the Batman. So this is the 1940s Batmobile, one of my favorites. Number 4 is the 1950s Batmobile. This one is in a darker blue, I guess. Well, not even a darker blue, almost a medium blue, pearl blue. This is almost similar to the 1940s Batmobile, but it's not as bulky as that. And also the canopy on this is almost like a bubble. So you can actually see Batman and his sidekick Robin inside. The feature of this Batmobile is the back part, or the trunk part, opens, and with this it reveals some of his a workstation that he has there, like almost like a mini lab that is that goes with him, so when there's on a crime scene, he can analyze the evidence. So that is the 1950s Batmobile. Also has the battering ram face similar to the 1940s Batmobile. I like this one too. It's got the nice silver streak on the side. It's got the siren on the top. A very cool looking Batmobile. And of course, the way they designed these cars it's because this is the car, or almost similar to the cars that they drove back in the 50s. So as you can tell, it's just how they interpret Batmobiles. They just go with the times. So this one is very nicely designed, in my opinion. The fin on the back is a little bit smaller than the 1940s, so it's a little bit more aerodynamic, I guess, if you kind of want to look at it that way, and it's probably a lot faster. So with that, this is the 1950s Batmobile. And so we come to number 5 from part 1 of this show or series that I'm covering. This is the 1960s Batmobile. This is reminiscent of the cartoon series and also a little bit of the TV show starring Adam West and Burt Ward. It's a little bit similar, but really a lot different as well. In that it's just not the George Barris Batmobile, as you can tell. Also, on this box, it doesn't show the special feature of this car, but if you take a look at it a little closer and I push this, as you can see, there's that wire cutter or battering ram. For those who are familiar with the Corgi one that got issued back in the 60s and 70s, that is one of the features of that car. So I guess it didn't veer away. They still put that feature, which is great. Also, the shield on the front is pretty close to the same. It's got Batman, there's no Robin. And the back is another drawing or etch of the Batman. So overall, I like this car. Like I said, it looks similar and not similar to the 1960s Batmobile that we are all familiar with, at least those of us who have grown in that era or later on and have played with the 66 Batmobile from the TV show. But it's still a pretty cool looking Batmobile. It's got the bat face on the front, sleek in design. So yeah, I think the only thing that probably I don't like about this vehicle is probably the wheels. It's a little too plain for me, but that's just me. Anyway, this is the 1960s Batmobile. Well, alright, fellow collectors, I hope you enjoyed that. That is part 1 of 3. In the near second installments, I will be reviewing 5 more, and then on the third one, another 5. So, 15 Batmobiles. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and also hit that notification bell. And I did leave a link in the description below, so that if for those of you out there who are interested in obtaining these, hopefully with a little bit of luck, you can find these and add them to your collection. So with that, I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and we'll see you soon on this Frugal Man's Bat Cave.